Look, in this video, I'm not going to justify the opinions Kanye shared during those chaotic early months of 2025. I don't condone anything he said, and as a Ye fan, I'm choosing to release this now because the storm has already passed. Mr. West has apologized several times, he took responsibility for what happened, and now we can finally analyze this era objectively and from an artistic perspective.
Oh look, Kanye's crazy, Kanye's crazy, look, oh my god, Kanye's crazy.
Listen, I've been listening to this album on repeat for months, and I have to say, it's better than Graduation.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
I'm just joking, bro. We all know that 2007 album is Kanye's masterpiece. I mean, Graduation has better production, it's packed with hits. It's literally one of the best albums in the genre. It's better than and everything, except one thing. It's raw authenticity as an artistic statement. This album is as bizarre as it is deep. We're looking at a piece so sincere and raw, it couldn't be released officially. It's art made by a wounded man.
What's a fashion trend you regret participating in?
Life.
A man with a tired soul but a heart ready for war. Someone who put hundreds of millions of dollars on the line just to be free to speak about what was haunting him.
What are you willing to do for your freedom? You know, I got freedom.
Is this now the most free that you've ever felt?
Absolutely.
The current music industry is one where real artists no longer exist. All we have are major labels using pretty faces to make money. They love pushing harmful messages onto young people through their puppets, only to discard them once they're no longer profitable. This pathetic state of the music world makes Kanye's work stand out even more for its honesty. I'd rather pay the price for expressing myself than pay the price for not expressing myself. Would you rather be hated for who you are or loved for who you aren't? I'll be honest, I know how corny this is going to sound, but this isn't an album just anyone can understand. It's something that connects with those of us who've been pushed aside. You'll really feel this album's vibe if you're an outsider, someone who's been judged and treated like a weirdo by society at some point in your life. At first, the album wasn't going to be called and the cover was an ancient symbol that dates back at least 5,000 years. Derived from the Sanskrit svastika, meaning well-being or good fortune, it was historically used as a sacred symbol representing prosperity, the sun, and divinity across Hinduism, Buddhism, Jainism, and various pre-Christian European cultures. That said, the version Kanye West was going to use here was the one associated with Europe in the first half of the 20th century, although he later admitted that the version he liked most was the ancient one, not the one tied to hate. This concept didn't last long, as he later changed both the name and the cover. The album was renamed and the new cover art showed a man and a woman wearing red and white robes. The photo was originally taken for a Norwegian newspaper in July 2015. However, the image was altered to change the man's skin tone to black, making him resemble Kanye. It was used without the original creator's permission, who stated in an article that he didn't want Mr. West using it. The clothing isn't only inspired by a certain hate group, it also resembles garments that Ye liked, worn by members of the Armenian church during the time he visited Jerusalem to baptize his daughter North. The album's name refers to, let's put it this way, a man who enjoys sitting back and watching his partner having a good time with another man. Two other well-known figures associated with these kinds of practices are Diddy and the no-jumper guy, Adam22.
It's more like swap. It's kind of like, you like, same. People call us, and then I'll get just for like to switch it up.
For the rush, you know?
Yeah, just like be on the outside of the doors.
Car racing.
Yeah.
For Kanye, represents a completely new sound. My genre of music is called think, punk, prog rock, rap, electronic, Berlin school, synthwave. The sound also got rage in it. To make this album, he chose younger people who could understand his vision, because for him, only those younger than him can come up with new ideas.
And I talk to these heads, you know what I'm saying, these like older dudes that run companies, and it's hilarious to me. I only listen to people who are younger than me. These are the only people with ideas. You cannot give me any advice. You can help me. You can support Donda. You can cut a check. You can help me build some infrastructure. But I have the ideas. No one older than me has a better idea than me because I'm the only 36-year-old me.
The YouTuber and streamer Sneeko was responsible for filming the creative process and even editing music videos. Digital Nas, who had already worked with Ye on Donda and Vultures, handled some of the most iconic beats on the album. But the most important figure behind this project after Ye was Dave Bluntz. He rose to fame through his On the Radar freestyle, the single The Cup, and his beef with Snoop Dogg. The controversial rapper from Iowa was chosen by Kanye to write literally the entire album.
Yeah, it was actually my touring agent that hit me up and said that, Ye wants to meet you. And I've gotten phone calls like that all the time. Like, oh, this famous person wants to meet you. This famous person wants to meet you. He's like, just stay by the phone. And I'm like, man, that's bullshit. I done been through that 1,000 times. And, the next day I'm in my boxers playing some Fortnite and like 2 p.m. he's like, yo, Ye wants to meet you. Go to this address. And I'm like, I thought it was bullshit. I'm like, I'm not really doing nothing else. So I'm like, hey, Jesse, you want to go meet Ye? He's like, yeah. So we go there. I played him my album and he loved it, and he just said he wanted me to write his whole album for him. I was like, yeah, okay, I can do that. I had a panic. I was like, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. I had like a panic attack.
You had a panic attack?
Yeah, like an actual panic attack. Yeah, like my...
I mean, the biggest artist in the world, essentially, or one of them, just asked you to write his own album, and you're essentially still an underground artist at this point. Yeah, I can see a panic attack being kind of normal at that point.
Yeah.
I think this is a completely normal reaction. Kanye is a music legend. Working at his level of demand is no joke.
People don't understand how hard he works because he's not like a guy who brags about it really. He just does it and then he shows the results. People don't understand. People love the final product.
There was one time like he had me like go back and do this song like 20 times. No, like 20 times. Like, I think that could be better. This could be better. I'm like, all right. And then, we finally got it. But yeah.
The process was fairly simple. Ye would sit and talk for hours with Dave, and then Dave would write the songs in his own unfiltered style, always drawing from everything Kanye was going through at the time.
When I took the approach to this album, I really, I'm like, well, if this album sucks, people are gonna blame me for it, and I really just need to become this nigga in order to make the album. So I went in like method actor mode, like on some Daniel Day-Lewis type. And I became that nigga. Like I was talking like him, acting like him, even texting like him in the paragraph form he be doing. And really kind of just lost myself in that role. It was what was going on at the time. That's what he was tweeting, all that stuff. So I just took that, made music about it. It was really just documenting what was going on at the time. Each time that I'd make a song, I'm like, he's not gonna like this. I showed it to him and he loved it. Every song that I made, that I recorded for him, he used.
Am I myself? I want to say yes and no.
Okay.
Because, and I'll explain. Do I like watching my girl getting by other dudes? No. But I've had so many situations as to where my bitch has gotten. You know what I'm saying? Like a nigga took my girl from me. So it's like, it keeps happening.
The album was leaked by hackers through Discord. As a cover, they used an old photo Kanye had posted on X, adding text insulting him over his recent social media comments and stating, all proceeds from this group buy were donated. They also listed 1945 as the release year. In that year, the guy with a mustache passed away and the war came to an end. To take a jab at Ye, they labeled the genre as AI, since many songs weren't finished, and what you hear is an AI version of Kanye's voice over Dave Bluntz's recordings. Most Ye fans were disappointed with the political stance their biggest idol had taken on Twitter, so the reactions to this album were, as expected, about 90% negative. Listen to the whole thing. This album was one of the most disturbing and depressing pieces of media I've ever consumed. This man's brain is completely broken. I usually can just point and laugh at Ye's opinions, but this album is a truly unnerving listen. It's hilariously depressing. What's more depressing is people who like it. Listening to new Kanye in 2025 is so embarrassing, man. This is beyond pathetic. This guy is a failure of a human. Donda would have been ashamed of him. For his part, Kanye clarified that the leaked album wasn't the final version, and that the fact it was leaked, it proves everything I'm saying and why I'm saying it. The first track is dedicated to Bianca Sensori and sounds truly angelic. Bianca. In the middle of all the chaos caused by the controversial tweets Ye was posting day after day, sometimes firing off 50 back-to-back within hours, Bianca and her family confronted Mr. West about whether there was any chance he'd put the phone down and go on a retreat to take a break, or even be admitted for treatment for his bipolar disorder, as everything he was doing was starting to have real consequences.
That I know when I put that up, that they were gonna come for me for real, and that's when
I got knocks on my door and familiar faces, you know, saying, hey, maybe you should come to a retreat. A retreat, I don't even, what's it look like aesthetically? It's going, oh, you know, just a retreat. Come to find out it was a hospital. What did I do? What did I physically do? I need to go to the hospital, my nigga? For what? For tweeting, my nigga? For real?
He obviously took this as a betrayal, since he believed what he was doing was right and that he wasn't sick or in need of help. Later, in his apology, he explained why he felt like everyone was against him at the time. Bipolar disorder comes with its own defense system. Denial. When you're manic, you don't think you're sick. You think everyone else is overreacting. You feel like you're seeing the world more clearly than ever, when in reality, you're losing your grip entirely. Kanye's anger toward Bianca and her family for suggesting he go to a hospital likely came from PTSD. He had already gone through a similar situation in 2016 when his former Canadian trainer, Harley Pasternak, contacted authorities, reporting that he was acting erratically.
You're his doctor, sir, is that correct?
Yes, correct. Yeah, I'm actually one of his doctors. I'm just calling for my cell phone request if we can have some police backup, because I don't think the paramedics, you know, if you can bring both, yeah, because I think he definitely is going to need to be hospitalized, so I wouldn't just do the police by itself. I think he needs to.
So if you can just keep an eye on him, you know, just try
he's here with us.
Don't let him get any weapons or anything like that. If anything changes, if he does become physically combative between now and when the police and or paramedics get their calls back immediately at 911.
Will do. Thank you so much.
After that hospitalization, he later claimed he was further threatened and extorted by Harley Pasternak, which led him to develop paranoia.
So it says, I'm going to help you one of a couple ways. First, you and I sit down and have a loving and open conversation, but you don't use cuss words. And everything that is discussed is based in fact, and not some crazy stuff that dumb friend of yours told you or you saw in a tweet. Second option, I have you institutionalized again, where they medicate the crap out of you and you go back to zombie land forever. Play date with the kids just won't be the same. This is the way a Hollywood trainer was talking to me to force me to go and like apologize, right?
This isn't just any man. He trained countless celebrities, including Lady Gaga, Rihanna, Ariana Grande, and Mac Miller. He also worked in Canadian intelligence, and Ye was convinced that all the threats he faced were attempts to keep him under control.
They tried to medicate me. I was exhausted. They wrongly diagnosed me. When I asked them, how much lithium did you want to put me on exactly? It took them 4 days to answer because they were embarrassed about the amount, right? And I refused to take this, right? You understand that if I had taken the medication, I would not be here, and it would have been, he was deeply troubled. We miss him. We love his music, though.
In this song, Ye briefly recounts how, after arguing about his controversial statements with her, Bianca had a panic attack. Once she managed to compose herself, she grabbed Kanye's Maybach and drove off aimlessly to get away from him. After that, he tracked her through the car's app, staying awake all night, hoping she would return to his arms, since, as I mentioned before, he believed there was nothing wrong with him and that everyone was overreacting. Still, he knew his relationship with her was becoming toxic, saying, I guess we the new Cassie and Diddy. For those living under a rock, Cassie was Diddy's partner from 2007 to 2018, 11 years during which disturbing things happened, which is why she sued him, and he ended up being sentenced to 4 years in prison. In this song, Kanye also talks about hating being famous, as he believes that's the reason Donda passed away. I thought about ending it all at least once a month ever since my mama passed away. I always blamed myself. I felt like if I never made it, my mom would still be alive.
Kanye was perfectly fine when his mother was still present. Now, if that's the thing that triggered the downward spiral or the craziness, who knows? That's up to his therapist to decide. But Kanye wasn't always like this.
He also expresses his fear of deadly retaliation, both for what he said about other rappers and for his political statements. He literally talks about his fear of suffering the same fate he believes happened to Jahseh Onfroy and Chester Bennington, the singer of Linkin Park.
And for all rappers, bro, please, don't me, man. I really, it was just a joke. It was just a tweet. Yeah, I think about the XXX sometimes, every time. When I tweet, like maybe every 2 weeks or so. You know, people I be saying, like, it's all like bulletproof everything. But I wonder, like, how could I still be here, man? It's like God.
It's God. It's God. Because you said a lot of bro, let's be real. like at some point, somebody has to say it.
There's an unofficial music video for this track, featuring scenes from the 1923 classic film The Hunchback of Notre Dame. The clips are edited together in a way that creates a story reflecting Kanye and Bianca's relationship, with Quasimodo representing Ye and Esmeralda representing Bianca. She returned to him a few days later and stayed by his side to face any consequences. Unfortunately, he had his Australian visa revoked and was banned from entering his wife's country. What a song, man. It's crazy that people can't see the artistic value behind all of this. I don't agree with him on any of the crazy things he said, but the amount of lore behind these songs is really interesting. Somebody, Ye, and Jesus. This is sonically really funny. The song's hook references the idea that no matter what he does or says, women will always prefer being with him over other men. Throughout this album, Ye says a bunch of crazy stuff with the intention of showing the public how hypocritical the music industry is, judging only him, since they never seem bothered when other rappers rap about illegal substances, guns, robbery, or murder. In fact, those same rappers often end up winning awards, and brands are desperate to work with them. Like in 2014, when everyone loved that Bobby Shmurda song, everyone was doing that viral dance right after he said Mitch caught a body about a week ago.
What about our music, nigga?
True.
It's like it's almost should be illegal to play because this is talking about things that should be illegal to say that are illegal to say because they'll play it back and put you in jail for saying it. So it's literally actually it's illegal to say.
You'll play stuff with people killing each other and doing and all this like destructive behavior all day. That's why I'm pressing y'all so much.
Dave Blunt's has a song where he says "lady" in it, and Rolling Loud told him he can't perform it, but he can perform everything that talks about guns. Dave also had issues with his label and came close to becoming a Yeezy artist.
They thought you were crashing out.
Oh, a lot of people on my team are like, what the f are you doing? Why would you do this? Why? Like, why are you doing this? And I'm like,
yeah.
There's a couple reasons why. I'm like a thrill seeker for real. I'm like, damn, if I do this, there's two outcomes from this. I can ruin my career and everything could be over. But if I get to work with a genius and the closest thing that we have to Tony Stark. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, them niggas at the label, at Dave Blunt's label, I'm sure they want him to keep pushing.
Yeah, my label gonna be mad if they found out I wrote this.
Dave Blunt's even made a song about this situation with his label.
And it's just like, that label, come to Yeezy.
Yes, sir, that's happening. Dave Blunt is coming to Yeezy.
In this song, Kanye also made it clear that he was convinced other rappers wanted to harm him. He was speaking specifically about Playboy Cardi.
Oh, I gotta tell you another thing that Cardi said to me on the phone, nigga. This nigga told me he was at the Chateau with a gun, nigga. What that mean, nigga? And then nigga say he don't be on the internet. It's like, if you don't be on the internet, what we talking about then? And I ain't say nothing then.
The conflict started when Playboy Cardi left Ye off I Am Music. A pretty forgettable album, by the way. Kanye really admired him, so seeing Kendrick Lamar be part of the project while he wasn't made him feel hurt and angry. I don't like Kendrick Lamar's music. He raps very good, but I didn't need to hear him on Cardi's album.
He's doing that because he's envious of Kendrick's moment. He wishes this was him because Kendrick is having a moment for being a prolific artist who took out his #1 op, Drake. Right? That's what Kanye wishes that was him in this moment. So he's been doing all these antics for attention all week because he's trying to get people to do exactly what they are doing now, and that's talking about him.
Charlamagne say he's jealous. It's like, yes, nigga, I am a jealous God. You got kings that are jealous. They're like, you know, whatever the word is.
Kanye tried to control his jealousy, but as the days went by, he grew more and more upset that Cardi had chosen Kendrick for the album instead of him.
And it's okay. I ain't got nothing against Kendrick. That man can't rap, bro. That man got one bar, bro. He ain't got one bar. He is Virgil. He's a sweet kid. No, man, but I gotta say, name a Kendrick bar for me, though, bro. That really me up, man. When I really thought about it, I was like, this man don't have no bars, bro.
The final straw came when Cardi asked Kim for a feature from North after she posted a screenshot of one of his songs referencing her clothing brand, Skims. Hey North, your dad gave me my biggest song in Cosign and I left him off of my album because of his tweets. Oh, but North, you are my niece. I gotta use your vocals. I held my tongue about not being on Cardi's album. Him going to my ex to ask my daughter to be on a song 2 days later was too far. Nobody finna play with me.
You don't know when I'm dealing with my kids. This ain't your niece, nigga. This is my daughter, nigga. Don't f with me, boy. I put you on, nigga.
In this case, Kanye's anger feels completely justified. It's crazy how no one seems to take him into account when they want to involve his daughter in a song. The same thing happened when Twigs featured her in a music video.
I just seen a video with Twigs and my daughter look grown as hell in a video. Like the nails, the makeup, the perfume. And like at a certain point, you don't know where to say, you don't know how to tell your kids, do this, say this, that. It's like you just have no footing.
Kim Kardashian, you telling me you ain't think she was corny 10 years ago? Twigs, you ain't think Kim was corny 10 years ago. And I was God, and still am. Anybody in the music industry, if y'all go to Kim to get rights to my kids, to work with y'all in any way, I'ma use everything in my power and flesh to do every version of Ye you ever seen like this. Let this be a lesson for everybody. Twigs, you gotta apologize and don't play with my kids.
Jared, also known as the King of Soul. The title of the song references Ivanka's husband, who served as a former senior advisor to her father. Here, Kanye samples an unreleased Justin Bieber song, where the pop star responds to a track by Selena Gomez and Benny Blanco titled How Does It Feel to Be Forgotten? It's known that Ye said some harsh things about Hailey Bieber, but he loves Justin, and at that moment, he felt very connected to him, as the Canadian artist was also crashing out on social media and being judged by everyone, treated like he was crazy for expressing himself freely. And again, Kanye was convinced that with his crazy behavior, he was paving the way for the next generation of rappers.
It's like an evil villain, like revealing their plan over time. And damn. It's like, damn, this was your plan the whole time?
Sometimes you don't know if Ye is plotting something, or if he just likes farming aura.
You young niggas don't own these words, nigga. Aura been around for 2,000 years. Aesthetic, you're like, I'm a young nigga. I use the word aura. Nigga, I hate being called Unc, bro.
Niggas say niggas is Unc at 24 now. Yeah. Bro, I'm not joking, Ye. That's Unc, 24.
I tell you, know how you could tell an Unc though? It's like every year they hairlines like this.
Yeah.
You're not finna let it go.
Here we see a direct reference to that famous screenshot where Kanye, using a Golden Freddy profile picture, asks dentist Thomas Connolly for nitrous. He also praises Bianca, saying he'll never hesitate to give her whatever she wants. He'll never hesitate to show off being her husband.
Yo, I just want to tell everybody I posted my wife 3 times on purpose. If you don't like my page and don't like what I'm posting, go f yourself. Seriously. I'm gonna post my wife as much as I want. Go post your wife on your Instagram.
As you can see, the songs were so straight to the point, so real, Kanye was extremely happy he chose blunts. He knew Davion Blessing was the best at what he did.
Ye told me, he said, man, there's only one other person who can make a Ye album, like, from front to back. It's Drake, and it's you.
This nigga Dave, I'm gonna just gonna say it. This nigga got me feeling like Dre and Eminem right now, bro. Certain type of mindsets and skill sets, there's a lot of overlaps to the skill set and mindset and fearlessness of early Eminem.
How did it feel when he compared you to Eminem?
Man, I cried.
Really?
I cried real tears, man. Yeah, I did. I'm a very emotional person, Adam. I don't run away from my emotions. You know, me and my bitches, we have trauma. We be crying together.
I think Ye missed his kids so much that he found a certain kind of comfort in acting like a father figure to Blunts, checking on him every day and trying to help him improve his health as much as possible.
And you say he like kind of like a father figure in your life now?
Yeah, for sure.
You get good morning texts from him?
Come on. Nigga, his old boo. Yeah.
Good morning, Blunts.
Yeah.
It's just a voice note.
Now we get what most people consider the best song on this project, World War III. This is the album's lead single and the first solo release by Kanye under the name Ye. It's titled that way as a reference to how he felt at the time, caught in a war against his ex-wife, the music industry, and the media. The leaked version includes some comments taken from streamer Aiden Ross's reaction to the song.
Dude! What the f was that? Dude! Wait, he dropped that? That has to be AI. Stop being weird. That's not him, bro.
Another online figure, Anthony Fantano, also shared his opinion on this piece, calling it the worst song of all of 2025.
That is going to be Ye with World War III. Yeah, unfortunately, Ye really gave us a 1-2 punch with some of the worst music of 2025. Like, you would have to be insane to write this song and then produce it, release it. I mean, he did kind of like change it a bit after the fact, but this is genuinely one of the worst songs a popular artist, I think, ever has recorded of all time in all popular music history.
Went to the dentist to get me some nitrous. Went to the dentist and put in some diamonds. This song came out just a few weeks after Kanye paid millions of dollars to have his commercial air during the Super Bowl, surprising everyone for 2 reasons. First, he shot it on his iPhone while at the dentist. And second, the only item available on the Yeezy store he was promoting was this one.
I spent like all the money for the commercial on these new teeth. So once again, I had to shoot it on the iPhone. Go to Yeezy.com.
At this point, not only was Kanye being canceled by most of his fans, he was also losing a lot of money because of these controversial actions.
I had to blown up this year alone, no less than $100 million by doing a t-shirt. The t-shirt cost me no less than $100 million.
Know some guys that went to that island? Why the hell would you go to that island? At first, everyone was asking, who is Kanye talking about here? But after Jay-Z and Pusha T appeared in those creepy files, fans began to speculate that Ye was referring to them, especially after a video surfaced where he said the following.
Of what our mission is. If you take people like Jay-Z and Pusha T, they made their living our people, so how are they gonna stand up for our people? You know what I'm saying? But we forget that because we love Jay-Z's music so much. We love Pusha's music so much, right? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You think they would ever tell the truth? No, if they told the truth, they'd go to jail. You know what I'm saying? So you have liars. Man. Liars are now the face of our culture.
Kanye was aware of what he was saying through this song. When he delivers the line, "I'm that guy that's going urinate on Grammys," he's reminding you that he's always been a controversial figure. It's his way of saying, don't you remember everything I've done throughout my career, or what? Virgil. Kanye and Virgil Abloh were practically brothers. They met in 2006 through Ye's manager, Don C. The original idea was for Virgil to design tour merch, but he ended up doing much more than that. He was one of the key figures behind the creative direction of the Yeezus tour, and even contributed to the covers of albums like 808s and Heartbreak, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, Watch the Throne, and Yeezus. Oh, and by the way, Ye admitted he hates My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, and I kind of understand him. That album is beautiful, but it can feel a bit forced in certain aspects. I made that album out of fear and to prove something. It was a coming back from the Taylor Swift moment. I should have just leaned in more. The life of Pablo is way better than My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. Go song for song.
Yeah, that's pretty true. That's true, and yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true. That's pretty true. That's pretty true. I mean, that's true.
Going back to Virgil, there are several reasons why Kanye sadly came to resent someone he once considered the person he trusted most after his mother passed away. But if you had to sum it up in one word, it would be disappointment. Ye felt that Virgil was ungrateful for accepting Louis V's offer to become its artistic director, knowing that was one of the biggest dreams of his life. Listen, a lot of the recognition Virgil gained came from being Kanye's right-hand man. When he launched his first brand, Pyrex Vision, everything sold out, even though the quality was questionable and the prices were high. He was buying dead stock from Ralph Lauren for $40, screen printing designs on it, and reselling pieces for over $550. Then, through the connections he made thanks to Kanye, his brand Off-White became a massive success. Remember, he was known as the assistant, and thanks to Kanye's influence in the music industry, his clothes were being worn by artists like A$AP Rocky, Drake, Jay-Z, and Beyonce. Literally everyone was wearing Yeezys and Off-White. But to Kanye, it seemed like Virgil didn't value that help and still chose to go work with Nike, a company Ye had left after they refused to pay him royalties, despite the success of the Red Octobers, arguing he wasn't a professional athlete and treating him more like a marketing tool than a partner. The ironic part is that after Ye left Nike, they approached Virgil and offered him a deal that did include royalties, and he accepted it without hesitation. Kanye felt betrayed, but he still congratulated him. At the end of the day, he was happy his friend was making money. Now, when Virgil accepted the role at LV in 2018. Man, that broke Kanye's heart. Even though he went to Paris to support him at his first show for the brand, their relationship was never the same. It was only a matter of time before Kanye expressed how he really felt. Anyway, it doesn't make sense to be that cruel to someone you once considered a brother, especially someone who's no longer here. Imagine a man steal your dream and is giving your crown because he ain't wear a red hat, and then the culture you built is mad at you for speaking up on it. My own friends that knew how bad it hurt me came trying to check me for speaking up. I hate when people try to tell me what the hell I can say. People don't understand that Virgil getting the LV job was worse for me since we were close. Everything Kanye said about Virgil ended up costing him another close friend, one of the few people he truly trusted.
He said some things that there's just no coming back from. The comments that he's had about Virgil Abloh, you know, are just some of the most evil, vile, disturbing things I've heard.
Ah, man, I gotta use the bathroom. Where's Virgil's grave? Okay, so. Oh my God.
That was
I don't endorse that joke.
I would prefer that one over the quick one.
The quick one.
Rest in peace.
There's no coming back from that, man. Like, I'm done with you, you know? The man that he has become, I just don't know that guy anymore. I don't know him.
In this song, there's another very aggressive line that Dave Bluntz later regretted writing. Throughout the album, he kept questioning whether it made sense for him to keep being part of the project.
Like, bro, what the f? Why is you putting your hands on the bro? Just help her out. Like, that's crazy. You should never be putting your hands on your girl.
Nitrous. The man who got Kanye into this situation is named Thomas Connolly. The dentist became well known after working with Post Malone, giving him a new porcelain smile for the modest sum of $1.6 million. Kanye wasn't about to be outdone, so he reached out to Thomas to, in his own words, get titanium grills worth $850,000 that would make him look like the James Bond villain, Jaws. To make the process painless, the dentist administered nitrous oxide, and that's where everything started to spiral. He allegedly supplied the gas illegally, leading Kanye to become dependent on it. While it's generally safe when administered by professionals, intentional inhalation, especially heavy or chronic misuse, can lead to serious, sometimes irreversible health consequences. But it seems Ye's health wasn't Thomas's priority. The dentist appeared more focused on making as much money as possible off Ye's addiction, even attempting to insert himself into Yeezy. It's been said that Kanye was spending up to $50,000 a month on nitrous oxide, even though it's nowhere near that expensive. Thomas gained so much influence over Kanye at that point that he came close to securing a major role within Yeezy, even proposing to his chief of staff Milo that he join the company with a salary of $2.4 million per year. You might be wondering, why would anyone pay that much to someone like him? What could he possibly bring to the company? Well, one of his so-called bright ideas to improve Yeezy was to give Kanye unlimited access to nitrous oxide in his office so he could use it whenever he wanted.
That is without a doubt the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Milo, of course, refused to work with him and later exposed him on X. Connolly got Ye hooked on nitrous. It is my belief that Connolly sought to diminish Ye's mental faculties so that Connolly and his business associates could extract millions of dollars from him. He also revealed a conversation between Ye and Thomas. Fortunately, Bianca convinced Kanye to get a new dentist after seeing how high he would get from his visits to Thomas's workplace.
You know who got this from me? My new dentist. My wife made me stop going to the old dentist because for some reason every time I walk back, I'm why you walking with my brain? I didn't even realize how long I had been like doing night, but now it definitely has affected my memory. But the funny thing is, God can use my memory, but that's not what He need. He need my channel.
This song has a lot of lines that can be seen as pure rage bait. During this era, Kanye was really going at everyone, probably driven by his addiction to attention and his love for entertaining his audience one way or another. When I spent a night with Madonna, she was bragging about how she'd done the same with Basquiat and Pac. I was like, damn, she loves to brag just like me.
So when I go up and tweet, I am an entertainer, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, when did I not be an entertainer? I'm an entertainer. Y'all was looking at this for entertainment.
Yep. He even claimed that Taylor Swift, Justin Bieber, and Harry Styles hung out together without inviting him. Is any of that true? I don't know. Probably not. I mean, you know him. He'll do anything for shock value. But it wasn't all just entertainment. He was also having real issues with certain celebrities, like Jim Jones, who, according to Ye, used him to make money behind his back. Allegedly, someone paid Jim close to $2 million to convince Ye to meet with him. Ye ended up taking that meeting, Jim got paid, and Ye was never told about any of it. Still, surprisingly, it was yet another reason why Mr. West crashed out.
What happened with the PDF?
Like I don't know how to make a PDF.
Let me ask you something real.
You want the PDF, Buster. You want the sauce, don't you? Knock it the off. Get my chain back too, I'm telling you.
You have your chain? Yo, what's up?
It wasn't all conflict though. In the middle of all his crazy tweets, Ye also took a moment to show appreciation for his fellow rappers, putting together a personal list of who he considers the greatest of all time. He even gave an honorable mention to Soulja Boy.
Shout out to Soulja Boy, he just came in my brain for a second. Like Soulja Boy is like the top. If not the most important person in rap ever. Like at least like top 5 most important people in hip hop. Period.
Cousins.
I mean, my cousin told me that another one of my cousins was gay. At that point, it's kind of when the turning point where I was like, this is my cousin, I love him, like, and I've been discriminating against gays. It's like, do I discriminate against my cousin? You just had to sit back and think, like, damn, you know, hip-hop, everybody in hip-hop discriminates against gay people. Don't throw me off. I really want to say this. I want to say this to America. I wanted to just come on TV and just tell my rappers, just tell my friends, like, yo, stop it, fam. Like, seriously, that's really discrimination. To me, that's exactly what they used to do to black people. I'm just trying to tell people, just stop all that.
Most people reacted to this song in a pretty pathetic way. You always hear them say they want artists to be real and talk about deep things, but when Kanye decides to be vulnerable and speak on his trauma, they end up ridiculing him.
It's like I started reading, you know, magazines with my cousin. They were my dad's magazines. And then, you know, he starts reading his mom's magazine. His mom has, and him and his cousin start practicing what they were seeing. And, you know, he just told me, you know, he was telling me, like, you know, when you're a kid, you do things and then you find out later that it's wrong when you get in trouble for it. Like, oh, don't do that. You're not supposed to do that.
I was traumatized by it because it wasn't like something, you a kid, you know what I'm saying? Like, you just do what you see. And then you're told that it's wrong afterwards. And then you're told it's wrong. And then you're made to be embarrassed about what you did. And you meant, or it's like, this is who you are for the rest of your life. That was like blocked out of my head for like 10 years. And I knew that once that it was expressed, because I had people around me that was like, yo, take it to your grave. It's like getting over the fear, bro.
You can't explain love. You know, my cousin is locked up for, and I love him. I saw he did a bad thing, but I still love him.
He feels incredibly guilty that his cousin is in prison for life. He feels that his cousin may have suffered from some trauma. And he's wondered or he's battled with figuring out, is it because of me he's locked up for life? You get what I'm saying?
The cover for this single is an old painting that was gifted to a man involved in politics 87 years ago. The song itself feels divided. On the first half, Ye talks about the situation with his cousin, and on the second, he does his own version of the hook from 10 Per. It's similar to what he did with Panda on The Life of Pablo.
He just told me the story, and I said, well, do you want me to make a song about it? He's like, no. I'm like, okay. And then, you know, he called me maybe like a week later. He was like, man, I really want to make a song about that cousin thing. And I'm like, damn. You know, because like the way it works, I'm making reference tracks. So I'm like, damn, I got to say that. Like, I can't go in the studio and say that around anybody, you know what I'm saying? This is a song I'm gonna have to record at home because I have like a home setup. And I just kept procrastinating and finally, you know, he had hit me after weeks of me putting it off. He's like, I really need that cousin song. So one night at like 11 p.m., I was in my living room and I made that.
That's what Dave Blunt does. I could talk to him, and he would be more apt to repeat what was of value than to have to say something different. That's why on the album, I mentioned nitrous a bunch of times. I mentioned being a bunch of times. The cousin thing happens only one time because it was so hard to really express that.
Ye received a lot of backlash when he released the track. Some people said he was lying, and even those who believed him said there was no need to make a song about it. No one put themselves in his shoes, no one showed any empathy. It's crazy how all the people criticizing him can't even show their insecurities to their close friends, yet still have the audacity to mock a man who had the courage to expose himself like this in front of hundreds of millions of people around the world. Just imagine trying to heal from trauma while the entire world, even peers like Eminem, is making fun of you. Merry Christmas. Well, I know you know this isn't the original title. I also know you know I can't say the real one. Because of its lyrical content, this is probably the most banned song in music history. But let's be honest, the beat is majestic, something Kanye has always been known for.
Bro, what? Here's the thing.
What?
First of all,
kind of catchy.
Well, that's the problem with it. That's the problem. It's
Yeah.
like the guy from production, like he's never lost a step. He can make a beat. He can he's so talented.
He's a genius.
He's a talented producer, man.
I mean, I want to say this carefully. I don't support people saying that. I don't think it's a good thing to say.
No.
I don't say it. But is it good to ban things from platforms, or is it better to let it be out there
I see
and
what you're
let
saying.
people
Yeah.
talk about it? Because if you ban it, then people want to hear it more.
That's true.
This song contains almost every topic touched on throughout the album, from being a cuck addicted to laughing gas to his Twitter rants and missing his children. It feels like Ye's attempt to expose himself and admit to everything he's being accused of, so no one can hold power over him and he can feel even freer. It reminds me of that scene in 8 Mile where Eminem's character roasts himself, so his opponent has nothing left to use against him.
I'm a piece of white trash, I say it proudly. Here, tell these people something they don't know about me.
Do I agree with the stance Ye takes in this song? Absolutely not, and you probably don't either. In fact, Ye is completely regretful about making this song. There was even a moment where he re-released it, censoring certain words and changing the hook. But at first, it was all about expressing what was eating him up inside, because that's what an artist does.
You have to say exactly what you're thinking, and by you saying exactly what you're thinking, that's how the universe moves forward. God puts these ideas in our head that we have to blurt out.
How can you hear that song and not feel this man? Y'all don't feel this nigga pain, bro?
Kanye compared this track to Blood on the Leaves, totally overrated song by the way, and claimed that with that song, he invented rage. That ended up upsetting Trippie Redd, who posted a video dissing him. It's a shame, honestly, because Ye and Dave Blunts wanted to make music with him. Trippie would have sounded amazing on that BIANCA track.
I invented rage, bro. Blood on the leaves. Blood on the leaves. Just take it back. I invented this whole rage.
Man, the inventors of the rage sound is me, X, Cardi, and Uzi. We paved the way, we popularized it. I'm not gonna let you old say you invented something that you ain't invent. Just need to take their pills, man. Needs to be psychotic, like out of their mind. Like, yo, old they invent shit. That's exactly why I ain't pull up on his old, cause he always just wanna put a nigga beneath him and shit.
Not just a hit song, but just a song for life, and it comes on. Like Blood on the Leaves. Or am I tripping? You're right. No, you didn't get that say Blood on the Leaves, or am I tripping? Like tripping. Yeah. Because I invented rage, you know.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. There you go. That was,
At the time he released this song, Ye was already emotionally broken from not being able to see his family. He felt defeated. I haven't seen Saint this year. I don't need to just see my kids, I need to raise them. I'm a good dad, I'm a great father to have. Seeing that the people he had stood up for in the past weren't doing anything to help him resolve the situation was driving him crazy, pushing him to say some truly horrible things about them on Twitter.
Now say something, nigga. Say something, nigga.
I bet not one celebrity say. They ain't gonna say. They're gonna be like, "Oh man, I'm sorry about your cousin. Oh man, the MAGA hat." But I'm saying my children, bro.
Kanye didn't just mention them on stream, he kept bringing them up constantly on Twitter as well. He would make jokes, I guess, trying to provoke a response from the couple, but that never happened. Anyway, he later admitted he felt really bad about everything he had said about them. This was the song that a few months later made Dave Blunts realize that he had been manipulated by Kanye the whole time. So he decided to release 2 diss tracks to make it clear he didn't identify with the songs he had written at all.
Why am I doing this? Like, I should not be doing this, but I've already accepted the nigga's money. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I've already accepted the money. I didn't really know that he was gonna want me to make it about this. until he gave me the money.
So you're saying you got the money and then he told you what you wanted to write about?
Yes, sir. Like I'm like obligated to, you know what I'm saying?
Right. Dude, I don't think a lot of people know that.
I said he tried to grip me. What you niggas think I was talking about?
Damn.
They don't understand I wrote HH just to pay my rent. We not no more.
But money wasn't the only tool Ye used. He also tried to persuade him through a very toxic kind of emotional appeal.
And then a lot of people always ask me, well, why did you make those songs? Why did you do it? You know what I'm saying? You know, he's coming to me and telling me at the time, like, these songs are breathing life into him. You know what I'm saying? It's whatever he was going through at the time that was giving a voice to his anger, his frustrations. And, you know, he was talking about times about wanting to his life, and these are the only things that are keeping him not wanting to do that. And so I'm like, I think I'm doing like a good thing. He's saying that this is making him not want to his life. All right, let's keep on making these songs. How much damage could it really be doing? Until I realized, yeah, this is doing pretty much a lot of damage.
Peter, we need to talk. I think this relationship has...
If you leave me, I will myself. I love us.
Do you see why people have a problem with it?
For sure.
Yeah.
When I made it, I felt like Oppenheimer. You know what I'm saying? Like, what did I just do?
Blunts felt like everyone around Mr. West were just parasites, blindly agreeing with everything he said, and he didn't want to be one of them. So he decided to end the relationship via text messages and make it public by posting them on Instagram.
I posted some screenshots of our messages, and I told him that I couldn't work with him anymore, and he's like, well, why not? And I said, fine, God. I think he's lost. I just think he's a lost individual. Just somebody who doesn't really have a lot of people around him that truly give about him. And you know, I'm just not that type of nigga, bro. Like I gotta say something, you know what I mean? It took me a while to say something, so I guess I was that type of nigga for a little bit, but at a certain point I was just like, this has gone too far. Like I gotta say something.
Around this time, Kanye also revived an old beef with 50 Cent, although it didn't really feel like one. It was more like praise and jokes, the kind of back and forth you'd expect between old friends.
Cause when you're in high school, right, nigga, whatever, it's jokes, nigga, like I said, graduation drop, that's the day 50 Cent became 25 Cent. You know what I mean? It's jokes though, nigga. It's love, right? We cracking jokes, right? Ha 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 ha.
But the tone shifted when 50 mocked Bianca and the outfit Ye wore the day he appeared in court during the Diddy trial. Blunts even made a diss track defending Kanye, but in hindsight, he feels like it was all for nothing.
You were beefing with 50 Cent.
Yeah, so really that one, not that I don't regret it, but I wish that like, I just didn't have to do it. 50 Cent was talking about Kanye, and then he was talking shit about his wife, and Kanye was like, man, I don't know what to do about this 50 Cent thing. Like, so I'm like, and I know he was dealing with a bunch of other at the time. So like this 50 Cent, it was just like why even now? You know what I'm saying? So I was like, hey, don't worry about it. I got it. Really, I only did it because he had talked about Kanye. I don't even f with Kanye no more. So it was like, that was for nothing.
All the love. This is your typical Kanye West hit. Within 10 seconds of listening, you can already tell it was made by him. This is probably the only track that doesn't seem to have been written by Dave Blunts. Even though the young rapper gave Ye a reference track, he ended up reworking it almost entirely. There's even a 7-minute freestyle over this beat that was streamed by Digital Nas. If you read the lyrics, you can sense Ye's exhaustion with his situation. It's like all this controversy was draining his energy. Even if the hook might sound positive at first, once you put it into context, it feels empty and sad. Compared to the rest of the album, this one wouldn't be thrown away. This track survived Dave Blunts and 2 terrible titles. It's like a war veteran. In the end, Ye included it on Bully, the album with arguably the worst rollout ever. Magazines. This one starts with an old piano composition so dark, it feels like something straight out of the soundtrack of the early Castlevania games. Then the beat drops, and Kanye delivers the song's only verse, which is very direct and self-aware. It's like he's ironically listing all the reasons people say he shouldn't be allowed to see his family.
I am not bipolar. I'm not in some kind of episode, but I may be slightly autistic, and that's part of my superpower. That's the reason why I can produce tracks and design and do so many things. But what I can't do, there's 2 things that I can't do. I can't accept hate, and I can't hate.
Now, the song is titled The Way It Is because Ye focuses this short verse on simply explaining the damage his addiction to this kind of content has caused to his brain. He's basically saying he replaced those kinds of magazines with adult websites, and that those sites ended up turning him into a His addiction is like energy. It never dies, it just transforms.
I need people to I don't even need anything. I'm praying that people can see that Jesus won the victory. When I was making raps in service to the devil, talking about I love it, all this, I was in debt. Now that I'm in service to Christ, God is showing off.
This is something Ye has struggled with his entire life, and it's fried his brain. Excessive consumption of this kind of audiovisual content can disrupt the brain's reward system. By constantly delivering fast, intense stimuli, it creates dopamine spikes that, over time, can lead to receptor desensitization, reducing your ability to feel pleasure from everyday activities. It gets to a point where you can't even enjoy watching a long-form video while eating. It can even push you to constantly seek new stimuli just to feel something.
He's asking this other famous guy if he will the person that he's with and sending a picture of his really weird. Then sends a picture of the woman and asks if the celebrity guy will to it with a bunch of water sign emojis. Yeah, industry activities, disgusting, vile. This is why I don't want to be part of the music business. I would never do anything like that.
Am I crazy? This is my idea of romance. Other couples get romantic just by holding hands. It feels like Ye ends the song with this almost joking tone to show that he's fully aware of how this addiction has affected his romantic life. Jesus. This is literally the song God, released in 1970 by John Lennon. In it, he distances himself from what he saw as idols people worshipped, including, interestingly, God and Jesus. He also says he doesn't believe in things like magic, the Bible, or tarot, and even mentions famous figures like John F. Kennedy and Elvis Presley. But Ye stripped it all down and kept only 2 names. In the third and final verse of the song written by Lennon, he says, "I was the walrus, but now I'm John. And so, dear friends, you'll just have to carry on. The dream is over." Here, he's referencing the breakup of the Beatles earlier that year, explaining to fans that he's no longer the greatest musician in the biggest band in the world. He's simply John again. Kanye didn't cut this verse, making it clear that he relates to Lennon. He even referenced this in the song Father from Bully. He's telling fans that he's no longer Kanye. He's no longer that 26-year-old who released The College Dropout. Now he's Ye, a grown man struggling with his own darkness, trying not to lose himself and everything he loves. As a fan, once you understand that, you stop expecting him to be who he used to be, and you're just glad he can express himself freely. COSBY. This song easily has my favorite beat on the entire album. The instrumental is a true work of art, and the outro genuinely makes you feel like you're floating. There couldn't have been a better way to end this project. The title references the iconic comedian Bill Cosby, who was released in 2021 after it was determined that his 2006 testimony, where he admitted what he had done, should not have been used against him since a previous prosecutor had promised not to press charges. The court ruled it was unfair to prosecute him while disregarding that agreement, overturning his conviction and preventing a retrial. Following that, Kanye expressed support for other figures, praying for the release of Lil Durk and Diddy. He even made a track called Free Diddy, although it didn't make the album. Another cut track was Uncle, which he clarified wasn't about his wife, despite fan speculation due to its lyrics. Honestly, it's probably for the best that song didn't make the final cut. It's extremely dark, even by the standards of this Ye era. Kanye felt it was unfair that Diddy was being held, but he also related to how the media portrayed him and how few people in the industry came to his defense. My support of Puff is completely selfish. I need to find whoever been trying to out black moguls. Initially, Kanye wanted to put North on a song with him, Diddy, and his son King Combs, but Kim did everything she could to stop it. When he found out she had legal control over North's artistic career, he got really upset. Man, Kanye is always doing too much. There was no reason for North to be on a track with someone like that. Co-parenting with someone like Ye must be incredibly difficult.
It'll be all this talk on the internet of like, I'm keeping the kids. He's never once called and asked. As much as people think that I have the luxury of walking away and not dealing ever again, that's not my reality. This person, we have 4 kids together.
Kanye still managed to get North on a song that ended up being called Lonely Roads Still Go to Sunshine, which was part of a 7-track EP titled Never Stop, fully produced by him for Diddy's son. That project also included Free Diddy, which was eventually renamed Diddy Free. On this track, Ye also acknowledges the many confrontations he's had with paparazzi throughout his more than 20-year career, and he stands by what he said to George Bush in 2005. For those who don't remember, during an NBC broadcast for Hurricane Katrina relief, Mr. West criticized the government's slow response and what he saw as neglect toward black victims.
George Bush doesn't care about black people. Please call.
Since this is the final track on the album, Kanye couldn't pass up the chance to take a shot at a certain company, and they act like they don't need us. Only broke guys wear Adidas. His nearly 10-year relationship with Adidas came to an end in 2022, after the German brand deemed his social media comments unacceptable. But Ye wasn't just upset about the partnership ending. He felt like they were trying to completely ruin his life using underhanded tactics.
Because I'm talking about literally finding out that they were trying to put me in prison. So not come to my house this morning, but I found out, okay, so they put a $75 million hold on 4 of my accounts. And then they said, you owe a lot of taxes. Took me like 6 hours to find out how much a lot was. They said, well, around $50 million.
When I went against Adidas got my bank to freeze my accounts right before tax time. From the way I understand that, you evade taxes, you can go to prison. So I believe Adidas tried to put me in prison for not abiding by their contract.
Think about it from this perspective. If you had $9 billion in your bank account, right?
Right.
And you say something and they freeze your shit to take it, what would you do?
I was in Santa Barbara. I went to this barbecue spot. When it was done, they brought the bill out, and I tried to Apple Pay, and I couldn't pay because my accounts were frozen. I was sitting there with a girl too. I went from being the richest black man of all time to not being able to pay for ribs. Not being able to pay for ribs.
This isn't new. Something similar happened to Tupac Shakur in the 90s after he was accused of something really serious. I mean, if you did what you're accused of, you should face the consequences. But in his case, the media tore him apart and damaged his business ventures before he had even been found guilty. But at the end of the day, Ye feels like he won this battle. Everybody thought I lost the Adidas war, but I won. Because I kept my $2.77 billion of intellectual property, and Adidas was no longer able to exploit my genius and my audience. It was worth every lost billion. I kept my heart, my spirit, and my dignity. And when I lost everything, it was that spirit that brought me back. And honestly, this part hits when you realize that Graduation was the most streamed hip-hop album of the year, with 8 billion streams. Just think about it. During the most controversial period of his life, his 2007 album was still the one fans kept coming back to. 8 billion times, to be exact. There's no doubt that no matter what happens, Ye is going to keep winning.
Oh, look, Kanye's crazy. Yeah. Kanye's crazy. Look, oh my God, Kanye's crazy. And, the music represents emotion, and you know what I'm saying, everything makes sense for me now, with Kanye, what he's been doing,
right?
And I'm completely accepting that I have no idea what he's doing, and everyone should accept that too, and no one's supposed to have an idea. You're not doing it.